Qutub Minar is the iconic tower situated in southern part of Delhi. It gives a pivotal identity to Delhi. It is very similar to what Burj Khalifa is to Dubai or what the Great Wall of China is to China.
Dear friends, if you look at the Indian history of last 1000 years, you will realize that Delhi plays a vital role in this duration. Delhi has always been a very important geopolitical city. Delhi has been a very imperative place of political importance. Delhi has been ruled by different dynasties. The last Hindu dynasty to rule Delhi was the Tomars. After which the Mughals came to India. They ruled Delhi for almost some 800 years. After that, it was captured by the Britishers. Britishers ruled Delhi for almost 200 years. When Mughals were there, they shifted their capital to Agra, which was again a very important city for them. It was the Britishers who, from Kolkata, moved their capital to New Delhi. The Mughals built different forts, palaces, minarets in order to commemorate their success over New Delhi. One such minaret which they constructed in order to commemorate their success on capturing Delhi was Qutub Minar. Now Qutub Minar is a very important minaret in Delhi. Qutub Minar is what Taj Mahal is to Agra. It is almost an iconic building for Delhi. Today's vlog, we are going to visit Qutub Minar, which is one of its kind of minarets in Delhi. We will get to know in detail about the history of Qutub Minar and a lot of things. So without wasting any time, let's get started.
Located on the outskirts of Delhi, Qutub Minar is a must-visited attraction that should be included on a visit to Delhi, the Indian capital. The beautiful religious buildings of the Qutub Minar complex forms one of the most spectacular sights. It is one of the finest examples of Indo-Islamic architecture. One of its kind, historians have conflicting views with regard to the name of the tower. Many historians believe that it was named after Qutbuddin Aibak, the first Muslim ruler of India, while others contended that it was named in honor of Khwaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar.
Inside this premises, there are 4 things to see. First of all, we have Ul-Islam Mosque, followed by we have Qutub Minar. Third thing we have is the Alai Minar, and the fourth thing we have is Tomb of Iltutmish. These are 4 things which are inside this premises. So one by one we are going to check out all the 4 things inside the premises. We will start with Qutub Minar.
Qutub Festival is organized at the famous Qutub Minar during the month of October to November every year. A classical music and dance extravaganza. It is arranged by the Delhi Tourism for 4 days. With a backdrop of magnificent Qutub Minar, bathed in the silver glow of the moon, Qutub Festival offers an awe-inspiring experience. Some of the most graceful and elegant performers can be seen dancing to the music here. Also, exotic music can be heard from the musical instruments being played at the hands of the world-famous musicians. It is one of its kind event. Apart from being a virtual treat, Qutub Festival of Classical Music and Dance in Delhi is intended to showcase the splendor of Qutub Minar. It aims at bringing this monument of Delhi to the forefront of highlights. It also helps in reviving the culture and the traditions of the capital city of India. The Qutub festival is attended by people not only from the country but also from all over the world. In case you want to be a part of this prestigious event, you should be in the city during this duration of October to November. This is one event which you are going to cherish for years to come.
Qutub Minar or Qutb Minar is actually a minaret which symbolizes the victory of Mughals after capturing Delhi. So, in a nutshell, this minaret also symbolizes the victory, or it is a victory tower of Mughals. Qutub Minar is located in the extreme side of South Delhi. It is very well connected with all the parts of Delhi. Qutub Minar has got metro connectivity. So if you want to travel from any part of Delhi to this place, you can easily commute by metro. The nearest metro station is Qutub Minar. This place is approximately 20 odd kilometers from the airport. This place is very well connected with bus service. The bus stand is just at a stone throw distance from the main premises of the building. So people, those who want to travel by bus or by metro or by their personal conveniences, can easily come to this place from any part of Delhi. On weekends, you will find the rush drastically goes up because lots of people come with their families to enjoy this place as a picnic spot. Behind me is the grave of Shamsuddin Iltutmish. Shamsuddin Iltutmish was the son-in-law of Qutbuddin Aibak, and he was married to the daughter of Qutbuddin Aibak. Her name was Begum Qutb. So I'm going to read about the epitaph of tomb of Iltutmish. This epitaph says that the tomb of Shamsuddin Iltutmish, AD 1211 to AD 1236, who was son-in-law and the successor of Qutbuddin Aibak, was built in about AD 1235 by Iltutmish himself. This is a landmark in Indo-Islamic architecture. The structure consists of a tomb chamber with a central cenoped. Its area is around 9 square meters. The circular dome was carried on the squinch arches which served to negotiate the difference in the shape between the square plane and the circle above. It is believed that the original dome had fallen and was replaced by Firoz Shah Tughlaq. In 1351, but even that did not survive. The interior on the west is occupied by three mihrabs, the central one higher and ornamented with marble. To serve as a place for the prayer, the tomb is profusely carved on the entrances and in the interior with inscription in Kufi and Naqsh characters.
क्या आप जानते हैं कि अफगानिस्तान में स्थित जाम की मीनार से प्रेरित होकर और उस मीनार से भी एक बेहतरीन एवं नायाब मीनार बनवाकर आगे निकलने की इच्छा ने सन 1153 में कुतुब मीनार की नींव रखी। लेकिन कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक अपने जीते जी केवल इसकी पहली मंजिल ही बनवा सके। उनका सपना कि वो दुनिया की सबसे ऊंची मीनार बनवा सकें शायद उनके साथ उनकी आंखों में ही दफन होकर रह गया। दुनिया भर के लोग जानते हैं कि केवल पीसा की मीनार ही झुकी हुई है, अपितु सत्य यह है कि कुतुब मीनार भी लगभग 2 डिग्री झुका हुआ है। कुतुब मीनार में कई अरबी और नागरी लिपि में शिलालेख लगे हैं जो इसके वैभव इतिहास को बताते हैं। कुतुब मीनार का सुबह खुलने का समय है 7 बजे और यह शाम 5 बजे तक सामान्य लोगों के लिए खुला रहता है। भारतीय नागरिकों के लिए जो टिकट का मूल्य रखा गया है वह 30 रुपये प्रति व्यक्ति और विदेशियों के लिए यह 500 रुपये प्रति व्यक्ति रखा गया है। हर दिन शाम 6 बजे से 7:30 बजे तक कुतुब मीनार में साइट एंड साउंड शो का भी आयोजन किया जाता है जो अपने आप में एक देखने योग्य चीज है। देयर आर टोटल 5 floors in the Minar. One could access the top of Qutub Minar before the year of 1974 through a path via a narrow staircase. Tourists could reach the top and enjoy the mesmerizing view of the surrounding areas. However, later, due to an unfortunate accident in 1981, the entry was prohibited for general public. In the month of December 1981, there were around 300 to 400 tourists inside the Minar. All of a sudden, an electricity failure occurred. This led to complete darkness and chaos inside the staircase. This in turn led to stampede, which was very unfortunate because 45 people died in that incident. This resulted in banning entry to the inside of tower. However, the architecture of Qutub Minar is equally captivating from outside, making this place worth visiting. Bollywood legendary actor and director Mr. Devanand wanted to shoot the song Dil Ka Bhavar Kare Pukar inside this minaret. However, the cameras were too bulky and big in size to fit inside the tower's narrow passage. Therefore, the song was shot inside the replica of the tower, which was prepared exclusively for that particular song, which gives the viewers a feel that the song was actually shot inside. Built in the style of Indo-Islamic Afghan architecture, Qutub Minar is built with red sandstone, presenting a perfect example of architectural excellence. It stands at a majestically. The Qutub Minar height is 72.5 meters and there are 379 steps to reach its top. The minaret is around 47 feet wide at the base, while at the top it is around 9 feet wide. It is consisted of 5 towers, with each tower showcasing a different design. The difference in architectural style is mainly because of the changing in the rulers over the course of its construction. Qutbuddin Aibak completed the first story of the Minar, while the second and third and fourth were completed by his successor Iltutmish. In the year 1326, it was struck by lightning, resulting in severe damages to the fourth floor. In the year 1388, it was reconstructed by Firoz Tughlaq, who also added an additional floor. Later, in 1503, Sikandar Lodhi also carried out stone restoration in the upper stories of the Minar. It is believed that the construction of this heavenly monument was a result of the several events that occurred in the past. However, the most important reason for the construction of this historical monument was for making calls for prayers. Moreover, the Qutub Minar complex also surrounded by many other architectural marvels. This fascinating structure is also declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is actually a big achievement and a big honor for India.
मेरे बैक साइड में जो आप ये मकबरा देख रहे हैं, ये मौलाना जमीन का मकबरा है। मौलाना जमीन एक तुर्किस्तान के नागरिक थे जो सिकंदर लोदी के जमाने में हिंदुस्तान में आकर बसे। उनको हिंदुस्तान लाने का जो एक मेन मकसद था कि कुव्वत उल इस्लाम मस्जिद का जो निर्माण था उसकी देखरेख मौलाना जमीन के सुपरविजन में रहे, क्योंकि वो अपने आप में एक बहुत विद्वान व्यक्ति थे जिनको आर्किटेक्चर का बहुत गूढ़ ज्ञान था और इस मकबरे को हुमायूं ने बनवाया था।
कैमरे को ही देखोगे क्या?
In the courtyards of Quwat ul Islam Mosque, this famous iron pillar is situated, which bears a Sanskrit inscription in Gupta period Brahmi script. It is assumed to be from the 4th century, a date which is also confirmed by the peculiar style of its Amalka capital. The inscription records that the pillar was set up as a standard dhwaja of God Vishnu on the hill known as Vishnupada in the memory of mighty king named Chandra, who is now regarded as identical with Chandragupta of the imperial Gupta dynasty. A deep hole on the top of the pillar indicates that an additional member, perhaps an image of Garuda, was fitted into it to answer to its description as a standard of Vishnu. The pillar has been brought here evidently from somewhere else, as no other relics of the 4th century are around at the site. There is a strong Bardic tradition that it was brought here, where from nobody knows, by Anangpal, the Tomar king, who is credited with the founding of Delhi. The base of pillar is knobby, with small pieces of iron trying it to its foundation, and a lead sheet covers the portion concealed below the present floor. The total length of this slightly tapering shaft is around 7.2 meters, of which 93 centimeter is buried below the ground. The metal of the pillar has been found to be almost pure malleable iron. Its portion below the ground shows some signs of rusting, but at a very slow rate. The manufacture of such a massive pillar, which has not been deteriorated much during 1600 years of its existence, is a standing testimony to the metallurgical skills of our ancient Indian kings.
As you can see from the architecture, that this place was once a throbbing Hindu temple. This is very evident from the kind of architecture which has been used here, that it was not a mosque in originality, but it was actually a Hindu temple. They always say that it is the mightiest who won. So when Mughals came into power, probably they demolished the temple and they constructed all these Islamic structures. Now we are going to the last phase of the premises, which is called the Alai Minar. Alai Minar is actually the second phase of Qutub Minar, which was to come into existence. The Mughal rulers had a dream that, they would build a second Qutub Minar which would be double the height and double in diameter. But they were only able to start the construction, and it never got finished, it never got completed. So let's check out the remains of Alai Minar.
Alauddin Khilji aimed to build a second tower exactly like Qutub Minar but twice in diameter and height. At the time of his death, the tower had reached 27 meters and no one agreed to continue his over-ambitious project. Alai Minar, the incomplete Minar, stands to the north of Qutub Minar and the mosque. Alauddin Khilji wanted to make this Minar in black stone. However, Alai Minar, in other words, is an unfulfilled dream which no other successor even dreamt of or thought of fulfilling, as a tribute to Alauddin Khilji. The area around Qutub Minar is frequented by Delhiites from far and wide. The reason is that this area has got studios of all the renowned Indian designers. Many of them are from Delhi, others are from other parts of India. For example, designers like Satyapal, designers like Nikhil and Akhil, designers like Rohit Bal, designers like Sumit Verma, designers like Ghazal Gupta and Gaurav Gupta are to name a few. This area has got so many old times Havelis which have been renovated, revamped and have been converted into these modern studios. This place also has this famous Tamarind Court Cafe where around 24 years ago Jessica Lal murder took place. That time it was possessed by the famous designer Beena Ramani. Over a period of time it changed the ownership and now it is known by a different name.
We thank you for patiently watching this video. Hope this video would help you to understand and explore Qutub Minar in a better way. I would also like to offer my sincere thanks to my student who's like my son, Saurabh Jha, without whose support this video would not have been possible. I sincerely thank him from the core of my heart for all his endeavors and hard work. So in case you are new to our channel, I request you to kindly subscribe to the channel and also don't forget to press the bell icon so that you are able to get all the future notifications well in time. Stay blessed and keep rocking.